Imagine a second Earth orbiting the Sun on exactly the same path as ours. Same distance, same speed, same orbital track. At first it sounds simple, two planets sharing one orbit. But in space, the same orbit requires an incredibly delicate balance. Let's explore this scenario through three main possibilities, moving from the most chaotic to the most stable. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. First possibility, inevitable chaos and collision. If two Earth-sized planets share the same orbit without a perfectly maintained separation, gravity immediately becomes the problem. Each planet is pulled not only by the Sun, but also by the other planet. Even the smallest difference in speed or position would grow over time. If the leading planet slows down slightly, it drifts a bit closer to the Sun and begins moving faster. If the trailing planet speeds up slightly, it shifts outward and slows down. While this exchange of energy might sound self-correcting, with two massive bodies like Earth, the system usually becomes unstable. Close encounters begin. Their orbits grow more elliptical. Eventually, their paths truly intersect. The result would likely be a colossal collision, powerful enough to melt the surfaces, vaporize the oceans, and potentially merge the two worlds into a single larger planet. Dramatic, destructive, and physically the most probable outcome. Second possibility, orbital separation or ejection. Not every close encounter ends in a crash. Sometimes gravitational interactions redistribute energy differently. One planet may shift slightly inward toward the Sun, while the other drifts outward. At that point, they are no longer truly sharing the same orbit. In more extreme cases, repeated interactions could push one planet into a highly elliptical path. Over very long timescales, and with the added influence of other planets like Jupiter, one of the worlds could even be flung far outward, possibly out of the system entirely. This outcome may seem less dramatic than a collision, but it is actually one of the most realistic long-term results. The system destabilizes and reorganizes itself into a new configuration. Third possibility, a fragile but stable balance. There is one way two Earth-like planets could share the same orbital distance more safely. If they maintain a fixed separation of about 60 degrees along the orbit, they could exist in what's known as a co-orbital configuration. In this arrangement, the angular distance between them prevents close approaches. From Earth's surface, the second planet would appear far larger than the Moon, yet still distant in space. Tides would become more complex. Long-term climate cycles could shift, but the system would not necessarily collapse into chaos. Theoretically, this is the most stable and potentially habitable scenario. Another variation would be a binary planet system, where the two Earths orbit each other while together orbiting the Sun. That configuration, however, would generate far stronger tidal forces and far more intense geological consequences. In summary, there are three fundamental outcomes. The two Earths collide, they gravitationally push each other into different orbits, or they maintain an extremely delicate balance while sharing the same path around the Sun. Physics tells us that stability is possible, but never ordinary. A second Earth in our orbit would create a breathtaking sky, but behind that, beauty would always lie a fragile cosmic balance. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. See you in the next video.